Well, hi there and welcome back to DGTV for another new product introduction. If you're a golfer like me and struggle sometimes within 40 feet of the greens, well, maybe you're always looking for solutions for your short game. And maybe our friends at Ping have delivered a solution designed to help golfers that struggle with their short game and confidence with chipping by giving us a new club called a ChipR. Well, a specific chipping club to help golfers who struggle with their short game. Whilst it might not be a new addition, it certainly is a new addition to the Ping range. But Carsten Solheim did develop a ChipR many decades ago called the ChipO. So it's not new, but it's the first time in a number of years that they've really focused on delivering a club to Ping golfers that really need the support around the greens. And let me tell you, as someone who struggles with their short game and lacks that confidence, gets that leading edge in a little bit too much, flips the wrist a little bit too much at chipping, well, maybe this is the answer. I'm quite keen to check this out because seriously, it could help my game. It looks somewhat like an iron club, but there's some features and technology in here that you really need to understand how it is going to help you as a chipper. Firstly, it's the length. It's a 35-inch club. Now 35 inches, that's around the same length as most putters, and that's the key. The Ping engineers really want us to be able to put a putting style stroke on this to get that club head moving straight back and straight through and allowing the ball to pop up, run with a little bit of air time and then roll out to the pin. That's the beauty of this chipper. If you put that right technique, that putting technique, that's going to help you. The other way that the engineers have built this to help us with that putting stroke technique is to give it a slightly more upright lie angle. So when I'm standing over the ball, so I'm standing in that little more upright position, my hands aren't low, and I'm really just making a nice pendulum style stroke and letting the weight of the chipper pop the ball up. With that slightly heavier head in that putting stroke motion, it's designed to be able to allow you to hit the ball further with a shorter stroke. So a heavier head weight, it feels fantastic as you've got it in your hands and giving it a bit of a swing. It really does feel like you can make a very small stroke and the ball's going to pop off and go really nicely towards the target. Now the Ping engineers have incorporated some of their tried and true technology that they've incorporated in some of their other clubs. For example, Micro Max grooves. So it still gives you that feel and a little bit of spin control. So it pops up, gets a little bit of spin on there, it reacts when it hits the ground and gives you that control. But really, this club is sensational. You can see there as that sun's going down, the hole up, it's glistening off that lowering sunlight there. It looks beautiful. Now the secret here is this wide sole. We know with wedge design, when we've got a wide sole, that gives us a little bit more forgiveness as the club strikes the turf. Well, this wide camber here and that wider sole is really going to help you when you bounce that club off the turf and get that ball sailing towards the hole. But the secret is just in that relaxed, upright putting style of stroke and letting the club do the work. I'm keen to try it out. Let's go. Now, I've never used a chipper before. This is the first time. I've not used this club. I just picked it up off our friends at Ping and they said, give this a go because we know, Ross, you struggle with your chipping. We've got this new club, try it out. So that's what we're down here doing. I'm down at Mornington. This is the second green here and it's one of our Drummond Club partner courses. Check it out if you are in Melbourne. I know this green. I've struggled with it for years. The way the turf lies, those into the grain lies, and always trying to play a lofted club to get the ball up there on that plateau. Well, let's see how a chipper goes here at Mornington on the second hole. Wish me luck. Now I'm going to have a few goes because I really do want to see how this works. Now, the Ping engineers have said that from around 40 yards in, it's not a full swing golf club, of course, but from the fairway or the light rough in and around the edges of the greens, that's where it's going to perform the best. As I said, it's got that camber sole there, so it really is designed to help work through the turf. I'm going to pick a lie here. Now I've just got to go pretty much to the front of the green and let it run up to the hole. Let's see what happens. There's a bit of break on this green. Immediately, I can tell you from the times that I've chipped from this very spot and the amount of times that I've left that shot about 10 meters short of the green, if I had $1 for every time that I've done that, I'd have quite a few dollars, but I've just knocked that one up into one putt range, first go. My goodness. Another one inside. So I hope you can see I'm just putting a little easy stroke on this, rocking the shoulders back and through. I got that one a bit thin, so it wasn't great, but still up there below the hole. How good's this? Got that one a bit heavy. That's a great example. So I got that a bit heavy. Had I done that with a pitching wedge, 9-iron, sand wedge, you know, the type of club that you see a lot of people play this type of shot for, I don't think that would have reached the green. Now I can hear you say, well, why don't you use a 6-iron or a 7-iron? Well, the thing there is, this has got 38.5 degrees of loft. It's more the length. So when you've got that longer club, you're inducing a little bit more length, which then gives you not the ability to put that putting style of stroke on there. That's why when I've chipped here with 8-irons and 7-irons, and trust me, I've tried everything, I haven't been that great with it. That's the benefit of this club. That 35-inch putter length, the upright lie angle, and the ability just to let it rock back and through and pop it up there, and it's just going to release and run up to shots like that. Now, if I don't make this green, I'm probably walking up with a bogey, but right now from being here in 2, I've still got 2 putts for a par, and maybe even with a couple of those, a birdie. Because I'm enjoying this so much, I'm going to keep going. Once again, stand up nice and tall, get my normal stance, and just rolls up there. I don't put the time in, I don't practice enough, so therefore the technique doesn't improve. This could be the solution. Now it's also designed to work out of the rough from in and around the green, so let's give that a try. Once again for me, this location here, quite often on the left-hand side of a sloping fairway with a little draw for a second shot, I'd find myself down here. It was a nemesis spot for my short game. If I could hit the green in 2, that was always the play, but quite often in going for that green in 2, I'd end up down here on this left side with all sorts of gnarly lies, trying to play a lofted shot up onto the green. It seems so easy now. Now hopefully, just to demonstrate, I've got my 56-degree wedge here, which I normally would have played this type of shot with. And just to try and demonstrate the difference in the length of the swing that you have to make with a lofted club to get the ball up onto the green versus a chipping club. Now when I turn the camera around, while all those balls are short of the hole, you can see that they're all in the same spot. So the wedge shots, you can see the little difference in the length of the swing. Much longer swing, much more room for error versus where the chipping club has ended up. Once again, none of them short of the green, thankfully, but all up there nice and safely, the majority of them with the Ping ChipR, C-H-I-P-R, ChipR. So once again, out of the rough, just with the camera up near the hole, and they're all getting pretty close to the hole. Just a nice, short, easy, crisp swing. Pick up the 56 degree. Much bigger swing, much more speed required for ostensibly not even a good result. I'm actually chipping pretty good from this spot. I was underselling my chipping prowess there before. Now the difference is that's grabbing and stopping, that's fine. But none of the shots with the wedge are getting any closer. And feel like if you struggle with that shot, then making a shorter swing with that shorter length club in a putting stroke style motion is going to be, over the entirety of your year's worth of golf, far more reliable. So golfers, there it is. That is my quick test of the Ping ChipR. It may have to find its way into my bag. Now that begs the question I can hear you ask, well Ross, if you put a chipper in your bag, which one comes out? And that's a really hard question, but I've already got some thought in my mind. If I was to take it out, and I know from the distances that I play, the shots that I make, and how many times I make shots with certain clubs in my bag, but there's one in particular that stands out as one that I don't use at all, or very rarely, and it's a club for the distance that it goes. I can substitute with the club on the other side of that club. If you feel like you need more information on the Ping ChipR or any one of the clubs that the manufacturers that we sell make to help people with their chipping game, please feel free to drop me a note below and I'll do my very best to get back to you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on DGTV. Until then, chip well.